Hello, everybody. This is Zach's at it again. I'm your host, Zach Cooley, and it's an honor and a privilege for me to be here with my good friend Mikel Snow, live here in Mount Airy, North Carolina, at the Mayberry Motor Inn. Mikel, thank you so much for being on the program with me.
Yeah, man, it's a privilege to get to hang out and talk to you too. I know Grandma thought a lot of you.
Well, I'm here because of your generosity. 2 years ago, in the Christmas card, you sent me a free night stay.
Has it been 2 years already?
It
Wow.
was Christmas of 2023, and you gave me that, and I scheduled it 3 different times and had to cancel because something had come up, but we finally made it. And it's been a really, really nice visit, so thank you for making that possible for us.
Yeah, well, thank you for coming down. I can't remember the specifics of when we spoke. It seemed like you were saying that, you had a connection with Grandma and coming down here, that meant a lot to you, and it seemed like maybe you were saying after she passed, you weren't sure if you'd come back again or something. And I remember thinking, I was like, well, I got to lure him back down here. So.
Yeah. No, it wasn't that I would never return to Mayberry. It was just that, and it really, it is your friendship in particular. I love your brothers, Jeremy and Josh. They're great fellas, but you and I clicked, especially.
Yeah.
And it's like there's a particular brotherly connection between us.
Yeah.
And I know you're quite a bit younger than me.
Am I?
How
I
old
was
are
wondering
you?
if we're about the same. I'm 38.
Okay, I just turned 40.
Okay, I thought we were about the same.
So, and are you the oldest of the three?
Yeah. I'll be 39 in October.
Oldest of the three boys.
Yep. Josh and Jeremy are 35.
Yeah.
So.
They're twins.
Yeah.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Okay. Alma must have told me that years ago, but I didn't put it together for whatever reason. So, yeah. But I didn't think I was going to get to see all three of you guys, but Josh just came out of a
Oh, did you get to see him too?
And I got to speak to him, so that's nice.
Now, we might have talked about it already, but you knew he was a barber now, right?
Yes. Did he go to the barber school in Winston?
He did. And if you haven't been by, you got to check that place out where he's working at now.
I'll do that.
This a girl that she's a year younger than I am. We went to high school together. She opened this place up called the Chop Shop, and Josh became her like right hand man kind of.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's something else. It's like it's an old garage they've renovated. It looks like a garage still, but it's real cool.
It's an amazing thing. I follow him on Facebook. So,
oh, do you? Okay, so
I
you
see,
know. Yeah.
He's putting the fresh looks on all the kids and stuff.
But talking about us having that connection, I'll never forget you calling. You might have been the first person who wasn't family called me when Mom passed away.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Well,
that meant a lot.
Well, I'm glad you felt that, because I'm sure everybody wants to say that they have a connection with you, because your grandmother was the spirit of Mayberry.
Yes.
To me, she was more Aunt Bee than Frances Bobbier. she was the Aunt Bee that Frances Bobbier could not. She didn't have. You had to have that magic. Your grandmother could have been a movie star easily.
She'd love to know you said that.
Well, I'm sure I've told her, because I thought she was strikingly beautiful.
She was a beautiful lady.
Just strikingly beautiful, and it's your spirit that makes you a truly beautiful person, and she just had the whole package. I mean, she did, and it was just when I don't remember how old my daughter was the first time I came here, but she was a baby.
Really?
And she's 11 now.
Wow. Wow. Okay.
Yeah, going to middle school. And I know the last time I got to see her, I think, I don't know, but the icon, what I call the iconic picture, the picture of me and her right out here.
In that blue dress.
Yeah, which you have.
Yeah, I wish you could have seen her slideshow at her the wake for her funeral. That was one of the photos. That was one of the best photos ever.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
That was in her. Oh,
yeah.
You
Picked out all the best ones throughout the years.
You don't know what that means to me.
I'll try to send it to you if I can, and maybe email it or something.
To know that was in there. I'm gonna go tell my wife. We're probably gonna cry later. You don't know what that means to me. That's a huge honor for me, because to me, there was two people to me that embodied the spirit of Mayberry, and it was your grandmother and Russell Hyatt. They and I said, once they're gone, it's not going to be the same, and it is not the same. But you have the same spirit, and your brothers have the same spirit that your grandmother does.
Well, thank you.
And you fellas, y'all are the true spirit of Mayberry, and I mean that from the bottom of my heart.
Well, that means a lot. I worried a lot about, when as Grandma started to decline, I worried a lot about not just losing her, but also I was thinking, I was like, man, it was almost like if you took Mickey Mouse away from Disney World.
Exactly.
I was like, I don't know if people will still want to come here,
Exactly.
Without her, and I couldn't blame them if they didn't, and so.
And then I wrote that article that scared you to death. I didn't mean to do that. I would never come back.
No. I don't think I felt like you meant you'd never come. I just knew. I think when you maybe that's what it was. You were talking about how Grandma and Russell meant so much. I was thinking, well, I'm not sure if it would be worth it for him to come back without them, and so.
Yeah, but I felt, and I mean, I had never even met you all, and I saw the three of you standing out there talking, standing out there next to this iconic Barney Fife 63 Ford Galaxy squad car, which Alma herself bought, and which one of you fixed it up?
Grandma actually had it fixed. She and Grandpa, we would have been, I would have been maybe 5 or 6 when she bought it, and she had it fixed up. Now, we've had it repainted. I'll try to. The thing I've had fixed the most recently was Emmett's truck. I had it re-lettered there.
And I saw that. Now, Tim White is my neighbor on the other side.
Is he really?
Because he does Song of the Mountains in Marion.
Yeah.
That's 25 miles from where I am, going in the other direction.
Okay.
Towards Tennessee.
Wow.
When people ask me where I live, I say, an hour one way is Andy Griffith, and an hour the other way is Tennessee Ernie Ford.
That's pretty cool.
So that's right smack dab in the middle of those country icons.
Wow.
So, in Whitfield. You spent much time in Whitfield?
I haven't spent a lot of time there. I've passed through a lot, and then I played with an old-time bluegrass band. We played at a community college up there once.
Yeah, I graduated from there. That's my alma mater. Yes.
Okay, that's cool.
Yes, indeed.
Yeah, I like Whitfield. So you're not very far from us then?
Not at all.
Okay.
About an hour away.
In my mind, you lived about 2 or 3 hours away.
No, just an hour away. It's just, with my handicap, and my wife went through some major physical and mental health problems during the COVID years that made it very difficult.
Was it related to COVID?
Not related to COVID, no.
Okay.
It was much worse than just contracting COVID, unfortunately. But thank God we're on the other side of that now. And we honeymooned here, not here, but we, I wasn't fortunate enough to have good connections back then with Alma and the Snow brothers. But in 2010, July 10th, 2010, actually. So just been 15 years.
Wow.
We had no money when we got married, so we both grew up on the Andy Griffith Show. So we said, let's go to Mount Airy for the weekend, and that was our honeymoon.
Well, that's cool.
So that sparked I wrote the book, Mayberry Matrimony. Your grandmother had a copy in there. I signed her.
I know, and I wonder. I haven't been through all of her stuff yet.
Yeah.
But I've been through a lot, and I've got to find where it could be in Aunt Bee's room somewhere.
I would be honored for it to be.
But I've got to find that.
But I saw those books out there, and I told Jeremy, I said, you need a copy of Mayberry Matrimony out there. I need to redo it, actually.
Now, do you still sell them, or are they out of print?
No, they're on Amazon. You can get them.
Okay.
I'd be very happy to send you some.
Oh yeah, well I'd put it out here if I had to.
Yeah. But I need to redo it. I need to revamp it because it was published in 2013, and that was before I even met Alma. And Alma told me all this great stuff, because it starts with the ghost of Mr. Chicken.
Yeah.
Alma and Luther Parker.
Right.
Luther Parker is your grandfather.
Yep.
Alma is your grandmother.
Yeah.
So I watched Ghost of Mr. Chicken, and every time that Alma, I said, "That's my friend right there." That's my friend.
It's pretty cool, ain't it? When I was a kid, I thought that was the neatest thing.
Yeah.
Listen.
But she had that. I mean, do you not agree? I mean, she had that. You gotta have that spark.
Yeah.
To be able, and she could have been a movie star.
She could. I always thought that.
The way she drew people in.
Yeah. Yeah.
And she made me feel like I was family. And I know everybody loved her. But whenever you had an interaction with her, she made you feel like you were her best friend.
Yeah. Yeah.
Always.
And you're right.
You have that.
Well, thank you.
You have that.
You're right. Like she had an impact on a lot of people. And when she passed, I said to some of my friends, and to my girlfriend actually, I said, some of these people came around and said I was Alma's best friend, and I was like, I don't know them. And then she said, well, that's how she made them feel. She said they thought, but I can say that I remembered you. There are a handful of people that stood out to her for one reason or another, and even before I got to know you, I knew that you did stand out to her. And so. And it was pretty cool. It's been really neat, to get to know you since then. I hate that it has happened mostly since she passed. But,
right.
Maybe that was part of the silver lining of it.
Well, that, you in particular, your brothers also, but you in particular, you embodied the spirit that she had of drawing people to you. And I really do, we talk to each other a couple times a year, but I feel like you and I are very close. And I felt that the first time I like I said, all three of you were standing out there talking. I said, I want to be friends with those guys. Those are the kind of people I want to be friends with. They just were just like my kind of guys. But especially you. I mean, we really clicked. And
yeah, we did.
And it means. Without having to say a lot to one another, I think that it's an understood bond between us, and that means ever so much to me.
And to me too.
If you're ever in Whitford, you got a place to stay, you got a place to eat dinner.
Okay. Well, that'd be cool to come up there and go get some. Do you have a favorite dinner spot up there?
Oh gosh, well my wife can cook for you. She said you can see.
Oh, that's even better.
She's a great cook. But yeah, I know some great spots. There's great. We went to have dinner at Libby Hill, which is right down the road. Yep. It's as much of a Mount Airy institution as the Mayberry Motor Inn.
Oh yeah, I think my mom worked there when she was a teenager.
Vicky did.
Yeah, I believe so. I don't know if she was a teenager or if she was in her 20s, but she worked there at one point in time.
And it must have been very difficult for you because you lost your grandmother, and then not too long after that, your mom passed away.
It was a shock, Granny, in a lot of ways, I spent so many years with her. It's like I had two moms,
right?
Right. And Mom was only 67, so we didn't imagine it would come so soon. Yeah. So there was a pretty rough stretch there, but.
But what has impressed me so much is that you embody the positivity that she had.
I try to do. She was always good about that. That was something I always loved. Like no matter what was going on, I was like, if I knew if I was around her, we'd be having a good time, no matter what happened.
And what most people don't know is that she homeschooled you guys.
Yeah, she did.
And she recalled those days with joy.
We had a good time. I'm sure we got on her nerves plenty too, but we had a good time.
She would talk about, she said they had Herbert the Turtle, and he would do the songs and he would tell them the lessons. And we'd be playing it when it wasn't school time, and they'd say, "Turn that mess off. We don't want to hear it." Yeah.
You know, one time, this is kind of funny. Since she passed, I've been going through her stuff. You know, one time during those homeschool years, she bought a karaoke machine. And we were making so much noise with that thing. After the first week, we never saw it again. I didn't see it again until maybe a few months ago.
Oh no!
It was going for 30 years.
She didn't throw it away, but it was tucked away in the abyss. And for anybody who doesn't know, there is now the Andy Griffith Museum. But before there was the Andy Griffith Museum, your grandmother held, and still may to this day, in room 109 of this hotel, the largest portion of Andy Griffith memorabilia of anywhere ever.
Yeah, at that time, she, we've got so much of Aunt Bee's stuff, we don't even have room for all of it in there. There's Aunt Bee's furniture in my house.
Right. She went to Miss Bovier's estate sale and swept the house, didn't she?
Yeah, more or less, yeah. She got as much as she could fit in a truckload and drove it back. And you know, that's why Emmett's truck ended up here, too.
Mm-hmm.
If there had been a proper Andy Griffith Museum back then, I'm sure it would have been there.
And it should have been.
But Emmett, he wanted it out somewhere so people could see it and enjoy it. And so he said, I'll sell it to you.
Yeah. And it's supposed to be free. The Andy Griffith Museum is supposed to be free. Emmett wanted it free, but the powers that be made it otherwise. But if Alma had been in charge, she'd made sure it was free to the people. I know that.
She probably would have.
Because anybody can see Aunt Bee's room at any time.
Right.
Yeah.
And you know, I think if Emmett was still around, say he was in charge of it, I'm sure it would be free. You know,
Yeah.
But I imagine, with his passing, they had to find a way to keep it up.
Keep it up,
Yeah.
Right. Well, now, speaking of keeping it up, it's now to you guys to keep up this institution.
Yep.
Because this is now no longer, nor has it been for many years, just a hotel or just a roadside motel. This is the Mayberry Motor Inn. And I remember as a kid always wanting to come down here and thinking, well, I'd never have the money to be able to stay at the Mayberry Motor Inn. I didn't realize that it was cheaper than going to the Hampton Inn. You can go down and stay in Andy Griffith's little rinky-dink
the house.
The house for $250 a night, or you can come here for what? $100 a night, maybe.
Yeah, depending on the season.
$85 a night, and stay in these really, really nice rooms, which she kept in mint condition. This hotel's been running since Andy Griffith was actually on the air.
Yeah, ain't that amazing?
It is amazing.
Grandma would have been, when she bought this, she would have, later that year she would have turned 30.
Yeah. So, and she was what, 84 when she passed?
Yeah.
So 54 years.
Yeah.
And
58 now, going strong.
Yeah, and good for you guys.
I hope we can keep it going forever, as long as people like you are coming down here. And like you said, it hasn't been just a roadside inn, and if it had been, it would have gone away a long time ago. People don't have a reason to come to these little places.
Well, there's a point to why I do these podcasts, and why I write an article every time I come to the Mayberry Motor Inn. Because I could review the motel, and it'd be the same thing every time.
Right.
But I come and talk to you, or I come and talk to one of your brothers, and I'm fortunate enough to have talked to your grandmother, and you get a different story every time. And that's the great thing about Mayberry, and that's the great thing about the legacy of the show was the stories that are passed down.
Yeah, ain't that the truth?
Generation to generation. And I saw a post. You had somebody from the fourth generation working here.
Yeah, so my girlfriend. We've been together so long at this point, we might as well be married. Like
right.
We met 2014. Her son's about to be a high school senior, and he's trying to figure out what he wants to do for school. You know?
So this is pretty much
stepson.
your son.
Yeah. And so his father's deceased, but on his father's side of the family, there's a lot of dentists, and his granddad's was an oral surgeon, and then on his mother's side of the family, there were a bunch of engineers. And so I imagined, and he's really smart, so I imagined that he'd probably want to do something along those lines, because I'm sure he could. But a little bit to my surprise, not too long ago, he started talking about going into hotel management, and I was like, wow, well, that's awesome.
Alma's up there turning some wheels.
She must be. Right as you said that, I heard some thunder.
Yeah. Well, I was going to tell you, and I don't know how you are about these spiritual things, but some of that stuff has really come to light to me in the last few years with everything that I've been through with my wife. And as I was getting in the car in Whitfield to come here, there was a bluish, tiny little butterfly, bluish purple, not unlike the color of the dress your grandmother was wearing.
Is that right?
That kept flying in my face.
Wow.
Right in my face. And I always believe that that's somebody. If I see a cardinal, male or female, that's somebody saying hello from heaven.
I'm the same way.
And I said, that's Alma welcoming me to Mayberry.
That's really cool.
I just, it just is. And nobody can tell me it's not. But, everybody thought they were Alma's best friend. I'm sure everybody feels like they're your best friend, but I feel like we really have a special connection.
I do too, man.
And I treasure that.
I do too.
I treasure that. I treasure you. And like I said, I love your brothers, but you're special.
Well, you are too,
You're
man.
special to me. And you've been with your girlfriend since 2014?
Yeah.
Oh, y'all still young lovers. Because I've been married 15 years.
Is that right?
So
we're about the same, getting close to the same ballpark. And so
2014 was when my daughter was born.
So that's awesome. Well, but to finish the thing about Paulie's his name.
Yeah.
Or Paul.
Mm-hmm.
But he's so, I told him, I've said, hey, now, it'll be a little bit different for us because with Grandma, where it skipped a generation with the business, you had me coming up on 40 and Grandma coming up on 90. I told Paul, I said, you can't really plan on this being your career right off the bat because, we're both fairly young. And he'd probably be more like 50 when if I ever decided to. Yeah, right.
We hope.
But so, I thought it was really cool him talking about, wanting to do the hotel, and if he wants to go to school for that, that'd be awesome. And then, Jeremy's got his kids. I'd love to know that when the time comes, maybe he'd be interested. Maybe they will too, and maybe it can keep going.
So
that'd just be awesome.
Out of the three boys, how many great grandchildren did you produce for Alma and LP?
So, if you count mine, they had Paulie.
Mm-hmm.
Even though I didn't produce him,
well, he's still
I count him as her great grandkid.
He's still yours.
She had Paulie and Bram, and then Arlie on the way, or Flynn on the way, but she never got to meet Flynn. So
really,
so Bram and Paulie.
And Bram and Flynn are Jeremy's.
Yeah.
So Josh doesn't have any.
No kids yet.
None yet. He's 35. He better get on the ball. and you got Paul.
Yep.
So and Paulie may carry it out.
Yeah, and I thought it was so cool. He and I've had him out here mowing and weeding and stuff, and me and his mom were talking, and she said, maybe he should have some experience behind the desk to see if he actually does want to do something like that. I said, yeah, that's a great idea. So last week was the first time I had him in, and I'm going to have him back this week.
I have a feeling Alma and LP, they up there, they're working it out.
I think you're right.
Mayberry Motor Inn ain't going nowhere. And as long as people like you are still here, the allure of Mayberry will always be, and that's what you've taught me.
Sure hope so.
That because you are the spirit of Mayberry.
Last week we had somebody come through. There was a mother and her son, and the mother was probably our age, somewhere around our age.
Mm-hmm.
The kid was like 12 years old. If I would have just seen him out, a young baseball player guy with his gold chain, and he's got his chewing gum in his jaw, not old enough for tobacco yet.
Right.
And I was saying, that's not who I wouldn't have imagined it, but he came, and the mother wasn't the one who wanted to stay here and see Aunt Bee's room. He was the one.
Yes.
And I was like, well, that's really cool.
It
That's
is.
a whole new generation.
It is, because it really does transcend. The spirit of Mayberry is beyond Andy Griffith. It really transcends. And towns like Whitfield,
Yeah.
That's what we're about. I didn't want to go do the expensive stuff, but it's cool going to Andy Griffith Museum. It's cool. I did the squad car once. That's cool. But the stuff we really want to go do, stay at the Mayberry Motor Inn, go eat at Libby Hill, the institutions, the stuff that was here when Andy Griffith was here.
Yeah.
Because it hasn't changed. So I'm going to ask you the question now. That car,
All right.
same question I asked Jeremy. I said, that car out there that y'all had, which one of you got the most chicks? Because I know that you had to beat them off with a stick. If you had all y'all's personalities and the whole package deal in that car too.
Well, I was going to say...
I know you had it set up for you.
At first I was going to say, I don't know that that it necessarily lured anybody in, but I will say many a girlfriend has had a ride in it. But then I got to thinking about it, and Josh has probably drawn the most in that car.
Okay.
And it's kind of funny having him, because Josh is like a biker guy, full tattoo sleeve, and then comes rolling up in the squad car. And
Right.
I'll say probably I've seen the most random girls with him in that car.
Yes.
So he takes the cake for that one.
Right. Well, when I asked Jeremy, he said it would be between Michael and Josh. It certainly isn't me. So, So, anyway, had to ask the question, but it goes to Josh. So, I will next time I come. It's his turn for the podcast. So
see what he says.
We'll see if he owns up to it. But thank you for your friendship. Thank you you're the reason we're here tonight. So thank you for your generosity. Yes. And anytime you need any write-ups, anything, I am here to help you keep the hotel going, whatever I can do.
Thank you, man.
So thank you very much for your time.